Hey, Fiancé Freaks, I'm Sam.
I'm Emily, and this is 90 Day Fiancé Freaks. Well, Sammy, according to Dev, Mondays are amateur day at the strip club. What do you say?
Let's go. Let's go. I bet they have a yummy buffet lunch. I've always heard that strip clubs have delicious food.
Let's fucking go. That's when Dev went every day on his lunch. Sheena, who is the wealth of information, lets us know that they're driving past the stripper district, and Dev chimes in with his 2 cents.
Molly's like unbothered, right? She doesn't care at all that he goes to strip clubs. Like, she's probably with him.
They probably also go together on the weekends.
I bet they do. They've probably taken Forrest, if we're honest. Wouldn't be out of character for her.
Well as going to the strip club, I also want to be in that market with Sheena and Forrest.
Do you, though? Do you? Because I feel like it was a little awkward, was it not? The banana hammock, and Sheena's like loving it, giggling, and then the market guy is just like awkward, like he's just watching them.
So this is one example where, like, she is willing to be open about her sex life with Forrest if Molly's not involved. She's at the market alone with Forrest, it looks like. I don't know if Molly and Dev are there in this scene. And Sheena's all about the banana hammock when Molly and Dev aren't around.
But in front of strangers, apparently, no problem.
Well, yeah, that makes sense to me. They're not invested in any way in their relationship. It's not like her future mother-in-law.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I just feel bad for Forrest. I told you the one backpack was a crazy idea. And even he is like, ooh, wish I would have packed more.
He is like, what was I thinking? One backpack. Well, I feel bad for Sheena that she expected that it would be okay and that it's not.
But does she not, I mean, did the security cameras not do his size justice? Like, does she not understand how big of a man he is? He's like 6 foot something. And he even says, he's like, sorry, I'm a giant person. She literally says he is the biggest person she's ever seen in her life.
And it's not like she didn't know that from 7 years of security camera surveillance.
That's what I'm saying, was like the big teddy bear, like a weird scale that she couldn't like see how big he was because she thought the teddy bear was small, but it was really a ginormous teddy bear. I don't know. I feel like he went there expecting to buy all these clothes because they're cheap and they're everywhere. And it's like, they're nowhere because 2X is the biggest size the Philippines has.
Poor Forrest. He's stuck with what he brought, plus the banana hammock.
And do they have it laundry at the Airbnb? That's what I wondered. He's got a few pairs of underwear and a few shirts. It's a hot, sweaty country.
Right. Is he having to wash his clothes by hand?
I don't know, because I've been there. I've done that, and 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
So the conversation they have at the end of their market visit too is also super interesting, where Sheena is telling Forrest that she wants only him to go when they visit her parents, to meet her parents. She's letting Forrest know that she doesn't want Molly to go. Now they have this conversation before the later conversation with Molly, telling Molly this information. The thing that popped out to me from that interaction was Forrest saying that he does not need Sheena's parents' approval.
Yeah, well, he said he didn't think he needed it, right? That this was news to him.
He said he didn't think he needed it. Fine, maybe it's news to you. To me, that's absolutely outrageous. That's absolutely wild. In the culture that you come from, that's a requirement. Like, he's saying he didn't know that was a requirement of her culture.
No, I just think that was like blissful ignorance or something. Like, you have to have known that, especially with how involved her parents are in her life, period, with the money, and she lives with them, and you knew they were going to have a say in her relationship, right? In her marriage, as do your parents, Forrest. You think you're going to marry someone Molly doesn't like? Good luck.
You're right. It was absolutely willful ignorance. He was trying to just pretend like he didn't see that. I don't know. It kind of pissed me off at Forrest again.
I mean, he's gonna get better. He's gonna make better choices, Emily. He has to. He has to. The way that Sheena phrases things. Did you notice this? I feel like she's so intentional and so, like, for example, she says, Forrest, what if your mom doesn't come the first day? Like, instead of being like, Forrest, I don't want your mom there the first day because that wouldn't have been well received. She gently presents it as like, what if she didn't come? What would happen? So that Forrest can kind of theoretically make his own choice, but we know it's really her choice.
So it's almost like she's the neck and he's the head. Have you heard that phrase before?
Yes. The men are the head of the household, but the women are the neck that turns the head. Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I just like her people skills because she also, like, he was talking to her and she's like, I understand, babe. But, like, she's just so measured when she's not crying hysterically. But, I just think she really is thoughtful about the way that she presents things. And I don't know if it's calculated. Like, I don't know yet if it's calculated or if it's just like she's a very intuitive person and can kind of tell the way that the other person needs to receive her information,
To come back to her emotional state, I do think that we saw a much more even-keeled version of Sheena this episode than in the last one. Rightfully so, the first 24 hours of their visit, first time meeting Forrest, her emotions were all over the place. This time, when she was having another really hard conversation with Molly, she completely kept her cool. Her thoughts were much more put together, which I think was more indicative of her personality because the first 24 hours, she was way more emotional.
Absolutely. And we talked a little bit about that. Why? I mean, that's so understandable that she would be so emotional. The first 24 hours that your boyfriend, whatever, of 7 years physically comes to visit you, of course, you're going to be just a puddle of emotions. But I kind of think she was more measured this episode because she's getting what she wants.
Oh.
Like, she's on the offensive. Like, she's not attacking, but, like, she's instigating this. Forrest is backing her up 1,000%. But before, when they're eating noodles in the market, she was kind of under attack, and now she's kind of on the other side. So I wondered if maybe that was why she was so measured and calm.
Well, and also, I mean, she was able to have this conversation with Forrest ahead of time.
Yes.
She was able to convene with her partner and come up with a game plan for how to communicate this well to Molly.
Yeah, she wasn't just like ambushed, you know what I mean? Molly was ambushed.
Exactly, this time.
But did you notice that when Sheena and Forrest are sitting on one side on like a rock or something, and Dev and Molly are on the other side, when they pan over to Sheena, anytime she talks to Molly, her eyes are closed. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
Yeah, every time she's like, yes, Mom, I just think it would be better if you came the second day. But she couldn't look the woman in the eye. She couldn't, and I don't blame her. Molly's frightening, but like, I thought that was interesting that she was being courageous and brave and bringing this thing up that she really wants, but also like, I can't look you in the eye when I do it. I don't blame her because Molly's reaction is not great.
Molly is not excited about this plan.
Oh, she's excited, but not in a good way. Like, she gets her riled. Because she thinks that Forrest is going to be just taken advantage of, basically.
Forrest says, what does she think? They're going to set me down, open up my brain, and pour the brainwashing juice into my soul? That's what Molly thinks. Sure, this is what Forrest says, but Forrest knows his mom well enough.
Mm-hmm. Where do we get this brainwashing juice, Emily? Can I get some? Can we? I feel like we could use some around here sometimes.
Can we buy it at that market?
Yeah, exactly. I understand why Molly's fearful for Forrest, because this has happened to him before, like we talked about. He was taken advantage of. But you weren't in the country, Molly. You weren't there then, and he was like stuck in a hotel room for 2 weeks by himself. What could they possibly do to him in one day that he can't like walk back or get out of, or, like, are they going to take all of his non-existent money in 24 hours?
Well, Molly does express what her fears are, what they're going to do to him. She thinks they're going to convince him to stay in the Philippines, get a job, just like Sheena, and start supporting them in the same way that Sheena is. You know, she might not necessarily think this is all going to happen in one day, but she thinks that allowing him to go meet them on his own, they're going to open his brain right up and they're just going to start with that idea in his head.
Pour that juice into his soul.
Do you think this is legitimate fear? Do you think this is something Sheena's parents would really try to do?
No, I mean, I think it's legitimate as a mother whose son has been taken advantage of before for her to have that fear. But no, they're not going to do that. Of course, they're not going to do that. Also, she says they're going to keep him here and just to get 2 times the money. What money, Molly? What money? Forrest doesn't make money that we know of.
That's what I mean when she says 2 times the money. She thinks that Forrest is going to start working in the Philippines and
Where?
that Sheena is going to continue working.
Where is his English-speaking giant ass going to work in the Philippines? Like, I don't think that he's just not logical, Molly.
That is exactly why her fear, to me, seems completely irrational. He's not working in the U.S. What makes you think he's going to come and get a job in the Philippines and never come back to the U.S. and give all his money to Sheena's parents?
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. I don't think it's about that. I mean, I understand her fear. I think she just wants to be involved. I think she just wants to meet the parents right when they do. She doesn't want Forrest to like them and then be like, oh, Mom, I really like them. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, no, she just wants to be involved from the get-go.
So you think she's just saying that? Like you don't think that she truly means that? Like, why does she say that then if that's not what she thinks is going to happen?
No, I think she does think that, but I just think it's subconscious that, like, she just wants to be involved so much that she's finding any excuse. And again, I think she was traumatized by what happened to Forrest last time. Like, that's understandable. I would be too if it was my son. But Dev, silence, Emily. Not a single word out of the man this whole conversation. He just sits there in his little hat and his little tank top, and he's like, I'm like, Dev, some words of wisdom here, sir.
What do you think is going through his brain in this silence?
I think he probably agrees with Forrest and Sheena. Like, I don't think he would have a problem with them going first. I think he definitely understands that Molly wants to meet them and sometime that has to happen. But I think he would be wise enough to know that this was probably the best move.
So he agrees with Forrest and Sheena, and he doesn't want to go under fire from Molly, so he's keeping his mouth shut.
Smart man. But what about what Forrest says to his mom? The backbone on this man? I must give him a slow clap because dang, Forrest. He says, I'm an adult. Yes, you are. Because she says, I promise I will go there and I will not start anything. I will not be this and this. And he says, I don't believe you'll do that.
He calls her out. Calls her out, which he did that last episode. He did that at the noodle conversation, but he does it in a much more confident way in this conversation. Maybe that comes from him being in person with Sheena, but I also think a lot of that comes from the fact that he and Sheena were able to come up with a game plan ahead of time.
Yeah.
So he has the confidence and he knows that he and Sheena are on the same page, and he's going to back up Sheena, but he's also certain in this situation that Sheena is going to back up him.
Do you think he was like super relieved when Sheena said that? Like, do you think he secretly didn't want his mom at the first meeting?
That could be. Even Forrest's opinion of his mom, like, obviously he loves his mom. She's a very important person in his life, but he calls her a hammer. He knows that she has a really tough personality.
In their interview together, Molly was talking about Sheena's parents and how she just doesn't understand how Sheena can defend her parents. And he looks at her and he says, it's really hard to think ill of your parents, Mom.
Once again, this whole interaction shows us Forrest's awareness of like social settings and social interactions. The fact that he's understanding these nuances better than Molly is really very telling. Sheena says that her parents aren't bad people.
Right.
This statement really upsets Molly. Molly cannot handle the fact that Sheena is now saying her parents are not bad people. Molly thinks it's a different story than what Sheena was telling from the beginning. What do you think of that?
I will give Molly that. I feel like there has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of and she just keeps saying, I only have a problem with the lying. And so I do understand the deceit is a big sticking point for her.
I do too, but at the same time, it's like what you said about Forrest saying, it's hard to go against your parents. I do not at all think that it's a lie. I think that it's a nuanced situation. It almost seems like Forrest is able to see that in the situation and Molly is not, which is pretty fascinating.
You know what else is fascinating, Emily? Wearing a strapless bra on an airplane all the way across the world. Lisa, if you're listening, why? She wasn't even wearing a strapless shirt. She had a fully covered outfit. So, needless to say, their next couple's Lisa and Daniel. And I really, truly want to know why she made that choice. Because A, why would you ever wear a strapless bra? Point blank period. Why would you wear one if you don't have a strapless outfit? And why would you wear one on an airplane across the world?
To get her titties out and fling them around. She cannot wait to fling those titties.
Whatever she's got to do with them. The bubs. The bubs, as Daniel calls them.
We know Daniel's going to fling those bubs.
Oh, yeah, he is. So we see Lisa on the plane, wigless, strapless, and then she is sick to her stomach. So again, with these very visceral reactions upon arrival. But to me, Emily, she was actually sick because she knows she's got so much deception, so much shit that's going to blow up. I feel like the other people are sick to their stomach with excitement and butterflies and anticipation. And, she's literally sick because she's worried.
And she kind of chalks it up to being more about her physical appearance. She lands, she talks about the heat and the humidity, not being able to hide her age, her wig not looking great.
Right.
But I think you've hit on something else much deeper. The real insecurities she's having are about the lies she has not told Daniel the truth about yet. This is all being masked by her physical insecurities when really deep down, she knows she has to tell Daniel she was a lesbian. She has to tell Daniel she's still married. She has this promise to Faith made that she's not going to say yes to a proposal.
Yeah, she just knows shit's about to go belly up. This is not going to be good. And she knows it. I just really feel for her and these wigs and the makeup. Living in a hot country where no matter what you do, you are sweaty and gross and nasty. Do you want all that makeup on your face? Your eyeliner is running down your face. I feel bad for her in that way. I mean, she brought it upon herself, but that's the worst.
Daniel looks genuinely excited in the hotel, getting ready, kind of giving himself a pep talk. He is looking in the mirror, laughing and giggling about what he has planned, which we know from the preview what he has planned. We don't know the full extent of it, but no wonder he's giddy with excitement.
Well, and I will give him this. The man went to the airport. He went inside. He had flowers. And he had dancers and drummers and a whole production.
The traditional dancers and the traditional music were beautiful. I absolutely loved that scene. Lisa joining in with their dancing, just getting down, completely carefree, asking the dancers, am I doing it right? And Daniel, it doesn't matter if you don't like it, Sammy, because Daniel liked it. Daniel was in that moment, I have never been more sure of her. He got the dancers for her, and she was so into it, she wanted to dance with them.
No, and I love her joy. I love her exuberance. I do love the dancing. But she asked them, am I doing this right? And I'm just saying, no, you're not. You're not doing it right. Okay? Again,
Did they say anything?
No, the woman said, yeah, you're doing it right. Lies. Lies. But wait, we cannot skip their first actual meeting, though. Like the moment that they see each other and embrace, because that's what we're here for.
The kiss.
Emily.
Anyone watching this show has got to talk about Daniel and Lisa's first kiss. Fiancé freaks. What do you think? Are they freak matching in this kiss moment? Sammy, what do you think?
I'm not matching their freak. I have never sucked someone's nose, and I do not aspire to.
We are definitely not matching their freak, but are they freak matching each other?
Yes. I yelped, and my child across the room was like, "Mom, what's wrong?" I was like, "No, it's fine. Don't come near me. You don't want to see this. Save yourself." I can't. I had such a reaction to their kiss. The hug, beautiful. She comes out of the gate. She's in her white dress. She's in her wig. He's got his flowers. The look on her face, she's like an innocent, giddy little girl. Runs up to him. Their hug was beautiful. But then he eats her nose.
As she says, he devoured me. And then he says, maybe I will chew you.
Oh my God.
Cringe.
Well, and even she pushes him off and she's like, let me look at you. No, she meant, let me breathe through my nostrils, sir. I just don't understand the nose thing. Like, did he not suck on her nose?
Well, I think he just missed. I think he's just like so overcome with joy and emotion. You know how they are in those first meetings. They're just so overcome. He just missed.
I would have turned back around and walked right back through security. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. Talking about chemistry, do you think they have chemistry?
I don't know. I mean, that is a hilarious question after we talked about all the other couples and their chemistry, and like Emma and Zied not having chemistry is so obvious. Rick and Trisha having amazing chemistry is so obvious. Lisa and Daniel? I don't know. Like, it's not that obvious because what is obvious is the ick factor, the cringe.
Ick. Yes, the ick. You said it. It just gave me the ick. Oh, so much ick. When he's standing there and she's taking forever in her wig to put it on and everything, he says, morning till night, I will wait. That was really sweet. Zia, take a note. So would you rather, upon first meeting, have to kiss someone on the cheek or have them suck on your nose?
Kiss on the cheek, please. Please. But I would allow the kiss on the cheek.
Sure. But not if he lied to you and gaslit you, Emily. Let's not go there again. We've moved on. So then they're dancing, and then Daniel pulls something out of his pocket. We just see Lisa saying, "What are you doing?"
The big moment. Daniel proposes.
And what does she say?
We don't know.
We know, Emily. We don't have to see it to know what she says. That's the thing. You don't need to give us this cliffhanger. We all know that she's going to break her promise to Faith because she's not toxic anymore. Okay.
Javon is on his way to meet Annalyn. He boards the plane, and we see what's going on with Annalyn 24 hours earlier in the Philippines. The first thing I noticed is that Annalyn changed her sleep schedule.
Philippines again. Sleep schedule again. Except it's the opposite, right? Because Forrest was the one that changed, but now we have the Filipina changing and not working because of it.
Suddenly, it made so much sense to me why Javon has not gone to the Philippines in all these years, because he's been sending Annalyn $400 to $500 a month.
Yeah, that would have been a plane ticket. 3 months worth would have been a plane ticket. He could have been there to see her in 3 months, but she can't be bothered to work.
But instead, he's supporting her.
You know who's not supporting him? His brothers. They do, because they drive him to the airport, but they straight out tell him, don't get comfy. She's hell on wheels. They know she's going to drive him crazy. Like, I don't think they're supportive of this relationship. Do you?
Maybe they're just like big brothers, just like giving him shit. But you're right. They definitely do not seem supportive of the relationship. That reminds me of something Javon said, that opposites attract. Annalyn is so talkative. She could have a conversation with herself, and he is not that way at all. I think a lot of times opposites attracting can work out.
Yeah, hopefully. Does he even seem excited, though? Like, I really question in the car ride and in the airport, on the plane, like...
How could he not be? I think that's just his personality.
Okay.
He's more calm and even-keeled and quiet, and Annalyn, as she's told us, is bubbly, quirky, outgoing, really talkative.
I just was reading into it like he's just kind of super skeptical and doesn't know how this is going to go. And he's like, no, she's kind of a pain in my ass. Do I even want to go?
Which I find that to be almost endearing. Like, he's like, oh, well, she's a pain in my ass. She's a thorn in my side, but she is my wife. Just kind of like she's the old ball and chain.
Ball
like, there's
and
nothing
chain.
I can do.
So endearing. You know who was endearing, though? Her mom. Annalyn's mom?
Her mom was so cute. I loved her in the little shop.
Her mom was, like, not all about it.
Yeah, she was worried. She was hoping that all this time that Annalyn has invested is going to be worthwhile. Because not only has she invested all this time, it sounds like she's also maybe given up or at least taken a break from her career for her relationship to be able to invest more time.
Yeah, and not even just her career. The mom says you gave up, like, friends. You don't have any friends anymore. You don't go out and do things. Like, all you do is wait for his call. And then you fight. The mom is just so soft-spoken, but she really has concerns, it seems like. Some valid concerns.
Rightly so, because of how opposite they are. I was so excited for their first meeting, though. What did you think of that?
It was cute. It was really cute.
It was one of those first meetings that was really emotional for me. I think it's because of their history.
Just the amount of time they've been waiting?
Like, Forrest and Sheena have been waiting 7 years. Like, Javon and Annalyn have been together for 6, married for 3. That really pulls at my heartstrings. They may have never met in person, but they have both poured a lot into this relationship.
I agree with you there. And she looks cute. She's all dressed up. He calls her a peach on a windowsill. So Southern of him. But yeah, I think it was a really beautiful first meeting. I wasn't uncomfortable, which I often am uncomfortable, as we just heard at these first meetings. So thank you to them for not making me uncomfortable.
It was like the absolute complete opposite of the spectrum from Lisa and Daniel's first meeting as far as like comfort level. Like, it was so moving and emotional and sweet. Versus Lisa and Daniel was just like ultimate ick factor.
Ultimate ick. Absolutely. I agree with you there. I think that the timing, like you said, like this season, we've got a lot of extended timelines. Like that kind of is really playing into it.
We do. They also really display their comfortability with each other with the farting in the car, the smelly feet scene.
Yeah, the smelly feet scene did make them seem like an old married couple. Because at first I was like, geez, if I just met some like hot guy that I'd been trying to seduce for years, I don't think I'd comment on his smelly feet. I would just grin and bear it and be like, you know, oh, you're tired. Do you want to shower? Possibly, you know.
But if your husband from 3 years had smelly feet, would you comment on it?
Exactly. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
So they somehow have those two characteristics together. They've never met, they're trying to seduce each other, and they've been in a marriage for 3 years. So it's like the collision of those two very opposite situations that makes their relationship fascinating.
It is really fascinating, for sure. And she hasn't had sex in 10 years. Girl's worried. She's like, why do people who have been celibate for a long time think there's going to be all these new positions? Like, the human body is the human body. It can only bend and twist so many ways. Like, I get that, like, there's some freaky things and appreciate it, here for it. But also, like, how many new positions do you think have not been created yet? From the existence of mankind to now, we're going to create one in the past 10 years? You're fine. You're fine.
You've got nothing to worry about, Annalyn. Javon hasn't had sex in at least 6 years, too, right? Because they've been together for 6, so
think so?
Hopefully. I mean, he fucking better.
I fucking better, but I don't know. Listen, I don't mean to generalize, but that seems like a long time for anybody, but for a man, a single man, a young single man with an ex-girlfriend he talks to on the phone all the time. I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Well, we know they're getting it on because they're in
yeah.
this gorgeous, incredible location on their honeymoon. Their first meeting is also their honeymoon. Beagle, the location of their honeymoon, talk about places I want to visit. That place looked incredible. Take me there. The beach, the color of the water, the green trees out the window on the way to the airport.
Yes, I was so wanting to go there too. And I do love that it was their honeymoon, like that was a cute approach. Like not just like we're meeting for the first time, like let's go on our honeymoon, meet for the first time. That was really cute.
And I love too that it sounded like Javon put all his trust in her planning it. She picked the place, she picked the resort because he was almost surprised when they got there. Like, oh, wow, I love what you picked. And she says, yeah, that's why I picked it, because it's an amazing, gorgeous place. And I thought that was really sweet that he put his faith in her to choose a place for them for their first meeting honeymoon.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a little bit of a mental load for her and he could have helped out a bit, but he is paying monthly for her life, so whatever. You're fine, yeah.
Well, she's not working, so she
That's
got plenty
true.
of time to plan a honeymoon.
Okay, all right, you're right. Convinced me. Yep, you're right. That's on her. And she did a good job. She really did a good job. You hit the nail on the head before when you were talking about he wanted a woman that, was more submissive and that she's not, because we heard her say he didn't used to be this way, but when they got married, what did he start doing?
He changed because he started listening to masculine podcasts.
Yeah. What are these podcasts so that I can avoid them entirely?
Give us some names here, Annalyn.
Yeah, or Javon. Like, that's interesting to me. Like, do you think that was a reaction to her? Like, do you think she just started being too much and he's like, how can I control this situation? Or do you think it was like a completely outside influence that had nothing to do with her? Like, why did he suddenly start listening to these things when he hadn't before?
I think he probably had this in his history, in his background, and it was like dormant within him. But it was why he sought out a Southeast Asian wife, to find someone feminine and submissive. And he found Annalyn. And so it kind of like bubbled up.
Whoopsie daisy. So we do find out that Laura and Birkan had a little makeout sesh after she went to bed.
They actually did make out, which I was so relieved because I thought Birkan doesn't give two shits about her. He just wants to sit there and watch TV. So the fact that we just didn't see it.
See, I was even more upset because
why?
She had to come out of the room. She said she went back out of the room and to the couch to talk to him. They made out. They had a steamy makeout session, but he still wouldn't have sex with her. So, and again, no rush. I respect people's wanting to wait and get to know somebody, but it just seemed like he was making out with her so that, he could continue to sit on the couch and watch TV.
So here's what we don't know. If it went any further than that after the makeout session.
Well, she said it didn't. She said they didn't have sex.
Wow. Okay. So that was it.
But she takes him. Emily, she takes him to a surgery consult. Why? Absolutely not.
I just don't think she thought that all the way through. Overall, Laura going to the plastic surgery consult was an extremely brave thing for her to do. And Birkan sees that, he calls her brave, and she cries saying, no, it's not brave, that she's scared and embarrassed. Sometimes fear and embarrassment are actually the first steps down the path of bravery. I think Laura was really brave to go to that consult. To do it on the very first day she's in Turkey and take Birkan with her, I mean, that was questionable.
I did love what he said. Sometimes he's a little bit hard to stomach what he says, but I'm like, is that genuine? But I loved what he said when they were talking afterward. Yeah, like you said, she was brave and, she's worked so hard for this body. She should do what she needs to feel comfortable in it. I loved all of that. And so I agree. She's super brave. Good job losing all that weight. Good job keeping it off. Yes, get yourself that surgery. Absolutely. Don't take your new, we don't even know what yet, and it's already been so incredibly awkward and he would barely kiss you, let alone have sex with you, boyfriend, to the consult. Like, please. And then she says it's because she could only get a consult for the second day she was there. Change your trip. Book the trip around that consult. Like, have it at the end or in the middle. I don't know. I think that was bizarro. And she even says, this is such a non-romantic, non-sexy first date. Then don't do it.
My overall feeling after watching this was her bravery and that she deserves to do something for herself. I don't know why she did it the very first day. I do think that BeerCon was genuine. She's the one who said he's uncomfortable. She asked, are you uncomfortable? He said, no, I'm not uncomfortable. He even goes so far as to point out one of his own physical attributes that he might be self-conscious of, his teeth, and say how he chooses to live with that in himself.
I loved what he said about that. These are my teeth and I eat with them, so why would I want to change them? Like, they work well, Like, he's very pragmatic. He's very logical about it. It's not like this lustful, like, oh, she has to be perfect. She's a human. She has a body. Her body's changed. And I do really appreciate that about him. And you're right. I did believe him in those moments. But I'll tell you, I was uncomfortable in the consult. Maybe he wasn't, but I was. Like, is that apparent yet?
I was uncomfortable for Laura. I think BeerCon took it in stride. He had the best reaction he could have had. And unfortunately, Laura realized what was going on a little bit too late.
Yeah. And you could tell, like, she was on the verge of tears, like, looking at that. And, yeah, I just felt bad for her.
In the interviews, watching it back, even in the moment, she realizes, oh, shit. And not only is it brave that consult at all, I also think it's brave to do that on a TV show. Show those images, to be forthcoming about weight loss and rapid weight loss and the effects and changes that it might have on your body is extremely brave.
So yeah, good for her. My question too was, how do you think Michael would have reacted?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Do you think she would have taken Michael to the appointment in the same way she took BeerCon?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't think about that. Well, apparently not, because she didn't.
Well, the whole reason BeerCon is there, though, is because she's in Turkey, and it's cheap to get good plastic surgery in Turkey. So...
Well, which kind of made me wonder, is that the real reason she's there? And then she just, like, picked up BeerCon to see if Michael would care? I mean, was she going to Turkey anyway to get this surgery? And then she's like, let me look for a hot dude while I'm there.
And also make Michael jealous while I'm at it.
I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone. Hey. I don't know. She did say that she took him on purpose so that she could kind of see how they would be, because she wants someone who will support her. She wants someone who will go to these things with her. So she was kind of testing him almost, but then it backfired so badly because she's just like panicked.
Right. Well, speaking of panicked, Emma alone wandering around the Medina, hilarious. She's like on the verge of panic looking for her hair oil.
Her hair oil. They go to a delicious looking cooking class.
So good. Oh my goodness. I love that. Emma talks about how she looks like a wifey in the cooking class. She's like, look at me with my apron, chopping onions. Don't I look like a wifey, Ziad?
Girl, you don't need a fish. You're gorge. Did you see the side boob? The side boob? Ooh, it was on point.
That dress was way cute.
So cute. Again, we're cooking in a kitchen. I don't know what the side boob needs to be here for, but I love it. I was here for it. It makes me sad because she's just like trying so hard to get him to give her anything. He should be the one being like, oh, you look like such a wifey. Like, you're so cute in this apron. But she just has to fish for it.
She should not have to be working this hard. She then finds out that she's not going to be meeting his family. Or she's not going to be going to his apartment. He literally has no reason why she's not going to meet the family, not going to go to his apartment.
Well, it's because they have their lives, Emily. They
No
have their
reason,
lives.
Sammy.
His dad travels. His dad travels a lot.
That's the same as no reason.
Bullshit. We call bullshit, Zied.
Well, so Emma confronts him again about all of the girls she's seeing on her laptop extension.
Because what does she say? She said, I believe every girl should stalk.
But not like creepy stalk, you know. Just like a little investigating.
Yeah, not like go to their house at night or anything. Just a little bit of harmless online stalking, which in this day and age, do we blame her?
I actually give her props for admitting it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't do that? But she's admitting it out loud.
Yeah, I sure hope these fiancés are stalking people halfway across the world and making sure that they're not like psycho murderers before they go there, right? A little, yes, we do need a little stalking. I agree. Thank you.
Please do stalk.
Yes. I didn't know about this extension. I kind of want to put this extension. I don't have anybody to put on for, but I want it. And it tells everyone they follow in the order they followed them.
Right.
So she's asking him over and over, have you talked romantically to any girls? Have you slept with anyone? Have you cheated on me? His response is, Emily,
He just keeps saying no. He just keeps denying it. No. She straight up asks him if someone flirts with you, what do you do? He says, thanks.
it's just polite to follow back. It's just polite when people follow you to follow them back.
If someone tries to flirt with you, it's polite to just say thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's all he's saying. What got me was, again, the eyes. He did not look her in the eye any single time he gave her an answer. He looked up, which we all know is body language for lying.
Yep. They're in this cooking class, which, by the way, I wish I was there. More tagine. Give me some of that tagine.
No olives this time.
I want to eat it. No olives. Then they're eating the tagine. They're at the table. Okay, this conversation they have while they're eating the tagine. Sammy, they're just like two ships passing in the night, okay? Emma wanted to tell Zied about her ex-fiancé when they were on the carriage ride, and he wouldn't listen. Now, he's asking her about it, but she doesn't want to tell him now. What gives?
Exactly. I was so confused. I'm like, you literally told her on the carriage ride that you don't want to know anything about her past life, which she takes offense to. She's like, so you don't want to know me? And he's like, no, I don't want to know you before like yesterday. Like, I don't care. But then, yeah, he turns around and like literally interrogates her endlessly about this relationship. But I will say she's a little shady too, is she?
She is. Oh, she is. He didn't want to listen before. He wasn't ready to hear it. Now that he is ready, she doesn't want to tell it.
She just keeps saying, I was going through a breakup. And he's like, what does that mean? So you were dating? I was going through a breakup. Like she just said, and she's like, that is my answer. I was going through a breakup.
I almost feel like she's just starting to feed off of his responses.
Yeah.
Like she is starting to match his energy. But can you blame her? She's withdrawing. She's withholding. He's not being forthcoming and honest with her. So why should she be giving him that?
I feel like we all know that it's going to come to a point where it comes out that she did have a fiance and he was Moroccan, and Ziad's going to be like horrified, and she's going to be like, I tried to tell you, I wanted to tell you, and you didn't want to know.
He fucking better not be horrified. She tried to tell him.
We know he's going to be pissed.
All right, next week on, we have Stig and Aviva back. We meet Sheena's family, and Forrest is confronted about his career. Lisa has condoms. Emma meets Ziad's friends. Javon confronts Anna. Trish and Rick are back. And Birkan's debts might cause a heart attack.
I was just so happy to hear Sheena say that she's getting frustrated that Forrest hasn't been saving money. Oh, finally, someone is going to call him out on this shit. She better.
Couple quick questions today. Laura and Birkan.
All right, give them to me.
Are they really in love?
No. Well, Laura's in love with Michael. Does that count?
And Michael's in love with Laura.
Yeah, so if that was the question, but that wasn't the question. No, and I don't think Birkan is in love with her at all. No, I don't.
Are they in it for the visa?
Yeah. I do think he is. I don't think it's like a malicious, like, I do think he likes her in some capacity. We don't know what yet. But him saying, when I come to America, like on my flight to America, that for me was like, okay, that's literally the first sentence you said to her. You're in it for the flight to America.
100%. Will they make it?
No.
Will Laura and Michael make it?
I hope so. I'm rooting for them. I am.
Who wears the pants?
I think Laura wants Beer Con to wear the pants, so I think he wears the pants. Like,
She wants him to, but he's homeless and in debt, so does he?
Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right.
Could they survive in each other's countries?
Yeah, I think so. I think Laura seems pretty intelligent, honestly, and I think she could adapt easily. And I don't know what BeerCon's going to do for a job or a home, but he'll do something in America, I think.
If you could go anywhere featured in this episode, where would you go?
I would go to that cooking class with Em and Ziette and the side boob. That looks so yummy, and I want to learn that. Where would you go?
I would absolutely go to Javon and Annalyn's honeymoon.
I might have to change my answer to that one. Yeah, that was really beautiful, that resort. My 90-day takeaway, Emily. When traveling across the world, please choose appropriate attire, which does not include strapless bras and or huge heavy boots.
That is so important.
I feel like airlines should have dress codes again, not to be fancy, just to tell people common sense things like this. But maybe that's what 90 Day Fiancé is here for, so we can learn from their mistakes.
My 90-day takeaway is relationships can be nuanced. They're not always straightforward. Just because you don't get along with your parents doesn't mean they're bad people. It might be a little bit more complicated than that, Molly.
So true. All relationships, too, like parental, romantic, all of those are incredibly nuanced.
That's it, Fiancé Freaks. If you liked this episode, be sure to match our freak by subscribing, leaving a review, and following 90 Day Fiancé Freaks on social media for more.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.